appropriate. When you are in your 20s, it's okay to play. Dating is age appropriate. When you are in your 20s, it's okay to play around, play the field, and play the game. But when you hit them 30s and up, it's time for you to be transparent about your sense of self, what you want in that person, and have that be the conversation you have on the first date, the first text, the first conversation. People are falling too soon for the aesthetics and the optics of a house that's an empty home. Excuse my language.
Okay.
So what you need to do is make sure that you're having conversation that looks like, this is what I like. This is what I'm looking for. Where do you stand? Are you conducive for me? Because the name of the game is, if we're not conducive, pivot. It doesn't have to be rude, but pivot. And if it is, lock in and take your time. Don't rush to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama or a baby daddy. It's not that serious.
All right. So let's talk about this young lady. She's been out on the streets. Her name is Dr. Cheyenne. She's not young. She's like, okay, I guess you can call her young. She's 41, 42 years old. She's a psychology doctor, some like that, you know. And she's been everywhere, you know. To date, I haven't seen anything that she said that she's wrong, but she's never been married. She's been what do you say to engagements that you turn off? She's basically she's called off 2 engagements and 2 weddings, I think. Called off 2 engagements, 2 weddings. She's 41, never been married, no children, right? And yet she says all the right things when it comes to dating, relationships, and even marriage. I'm quite impressed. But even marriage. But there's a big old but. There's a big old but. Not her but. No, I'm talking about just a big old B-U-T. Like Shugban. Shugban come like hey. Like yeah, there's a but. And I want us to talk about it. And I think that big old but is one of the struggles of the modern dating scene. Prove me wrong. Okay, prove me wrong. Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna dissect what she said again. She didn't say anything wrong, but that's a big old but. Okay, that's a big old but. Let's go.
Dating is age appropriate.
Dating is age appropriate. Okay, let's have it.
When you are in your 20s, it's okay to play around, play the field, and play the game. But when you hit them 30s and up,
when you're in your 20s, it's okay to play the game. To do what? Let's go back.
Okay to play around, play the field, and play the game.
It's okay to play the field, play the game when you are in your 20s. Depends on what she means by that, right? People take that as surface level, but let's keep going.
But when you hit them 30s and up, it's time for you to be transparent about.
When you hit them 30s and up, it's time to be transparent that this is the time where you tell them you're monogamous and you're a very sincere guy and I walk a straight line all of my life. That's a red flag of a man, by the way. Like I said earlier on. What does she mean by transparent? What do you mean? By telling, like, vomiting diarrhea all over the place, asking all the right questions on a date, and then turning each other off, and then ghosting each other. Exactly what does she mean by being transparent? What is this, a business transaction? Let's keep going.
About your sense of self, what you want in that person.
What you want in that person.
Now,
she might not mean that. She's just talking from a stage. She's a guest speaker and a panelist, right? But how do people in this modern dating scenes interpret that? They interpret that literally. That's why I'm pointing this out right now. They literally go there and say, what do you do? What do you want? Let me tell you what I want. What do you want? Tell me. What are your red flags? They literally think that a normal dating environment is the Hunt game show. Pop the balloon. Ask all the right questions.
Sense of self, what you want in that person, and have that be the conversation you have on the first date,
Have that be the conversation you have on the first date and
text, the first conversation.
On the first text. Now, it would be disrespectful for me to ask this pretty young lady, how's that working out for you? Or how has that worked out for you? How dare? I can't ask such questions. I can't. It'll be disrespectful. What have you been doing for the last 25 years? Or you're telling me you just learned this, so you haven't actually used it, but you're teaching it. Again, on the surface, it sounds right. But what else is going on behind the scenes of these conversations? Again, she's never said anything wrong thus far. I've listened to at least 3 podcasts where she's a guest. You know, how is she getting 3 podcasts? Because they're eating it up. They're enjoying it.
Well, you're right.
They love it. They're loving it. They're loving the advice. And I can't hate on that. And I know you can probably read me, but I'm hating, right? No, I'm just trying to add some context to what she's saying, actually. I promise you. I like people like her. I want more people like her in this scene. We need more coaches, by the way. Let's keep playing.
People are falling too soon for the aesthetics and the optics of a house that's an empty home. Excuse my language.
People are falling too soon for the aesthetics of what looks like an empty house. Well, there's also people that can't even think of a house that's an apartment. They're young people. They're falling too soon. Are they falling too soon? Or they're also enjoying the experience that they're having? Or they are just having a life experience? It could be, right? I do think a lot of people fall too soon. A lot of people let down their guards when, you know, they could see the sign, like case in point, like a Safari and an Erica Mena I just covered, right? So, but what are the nuances here? Because I think the problems are in the nuances.
So what you need to do is make sure that you're having conversation that looks like, this is what I like. This is what I'm looking for. Where do you stand? Are you conducive for me? Because the name of the game is, if we're not conducive, pivot. It doesn't have to be rude, but
I guarantee you that man has been having such conversations already. It's just not working.
You think so they're wise?
It's not working. They've been telling everybody what they like, asking what they like. In fact, when they tell them what they like, they see a red flag. Right? And before you know it, it's been 20 years of being in this dating scene.
How be juju be that?
And then they say it's getting worse. No, your experience is getting worse. It's not getting worse. Your experience is getting worse. Your experience is getting worse. Because clearly you're not creating the results you like. So it's getting worse. I guarantee you that man has been talking about what he likes, and asking all the right questions. You know, but they're hopeful. Why? Because we're not going to give up on love and connection, right?
pivot.
Regardless of how many times you threaten each other that you're giving up. We don't want to marry anymore. Men are walking away. You're a liar.
If it is, lock in and take your time. Don't rush to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama or baby daddy.
All right, so she's speaking for herself now. She said that when they asked her, how are you not married? Well, I'd rather counsel an engagement than counsel a marriage. That sounds like fear to me, if you ask me. It sounds like fear. It's a move of faith. At some point, you're going to have to jump off that cliff. Okay? I think, like I said in this comment area here, I think the problem with this generation is that y'all talk too much. You don't put yourself out there. You're afraid of putting yourself out there. You're afraid, and because you're basically hurting yourselves. That's what it is, you know. Drink water. Try this angle better, okay? This is the angle I wanted to. This is a game-changing approach. Work on yourself. Self-development. That's the focus. If you focus on self-development, that's all the guards you need to protect you. That's it. That's all you need. Right? Looking for a red flag all over the place, you will find them. If that's all you're looking for. I know today earlier on I gave you 7 red flags. Sometimes I have to do that. But that's not good enough if you're not doing self-development. If you're not engaging your self-development, it's not good enough. It will never be good enough. Okay? You will just be out here teaching the same theory 40 years later. And no shades to her. I promise. No shades to her. You know, I'm just saying. You don't want to be out here 20, 30 years later and you're teaching theoretical stuff that hasn't worked. You know? What are your thoughts? Let me know what your thoughts are. I want you all to pay attention to some of these nuances. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and I will see you in the comment section. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.